best, so I push through. Made a vow to the Lord not to let loose. Better feel in my mind, wanna call truce. Heard his voice telling me to help you. On the path for the truth, feeling so low. Gotta choose life or death, can't be so-so. It's either straight and the narrow, it's no-go. You think it's more than one way, it's kinda bozo. Full of mojo when I sit down and read the book. It give me strength to persevere no matter how I look. I got faith in his word, so I'ma stay put. On this solid foundation, we ain't never shook. Took a sip of living water, I ain't been the same. On the survival of the fittest, it ain't for the lane. But then again, I want the body waiting for my change. First resurrection, I'm just hoping that he call my name. Hey.
I'm just trying to make it to the kingdom of the Father. Meditating on the book, I'm sipping living water. Never switching up, oh my God, I'm solid. All we trying to do is get some wisdom and knowledge. I'm just trying to make it to the kingdom of the Father. Meditating on the book, I'm sipping living water. Never switching up, oh my God, I'm solid. All we trying to do is get some wisdom and knowledge.
Sipping living water, for me, that's an order. Light in my path where they call it my northern. Flip through the book, back and forth, yeah, explorer. West to the east, California to Florida. Knock on the door, please, Lord, let me in. Got a second chance, so I turn from my sin. Down for the truth, all the way to the end. They say I'm kinda crazy, I just say amen. Spending time in your word, all I wanna do. You run and tell the whole world, put it on the news. It's your name, I reclaim who I look to. See the man I became all because of you. Gave up the fame and the fortune not to lose my soul. Rule and reign with the king, so I let it go. Put no price on your wisdom, worth more than gold. Lay my life on the line to walk through your doors. Oh,
I'm just trying to make it to the kingdom of the Father. Meditating on the book, I'm sipping living water. Never switching up, oh my God, I'm solid. All we trying to do is get some wisdom and knowledge. I'm just trying to make it to the kingdom of the Father. Meditating on the book, I'm sipping living water. Never switching up, oh my God, I'm solid. All we trying to do is get some wisdom and knowledge. I'm just trying to make it to the kingdom of the Father. Meditating on the book, I'm sipping living water. Never switching up, oh my God, I'm solid. All we trying to do is get some wisdom and knowledge. I'm just trying to make it to the kingdom of the Father. Meditating on the book, I'm sipping living water. Never switching up, oh my God, I'm solid. All we trying to do is get some wisdom and knowledge.
I was gonna cut it off, but hold on, this my jam. Brew hard.
This night, love, boy, I'm blessed. Wake up in the morning and I be so damn impressed. God bless me, he gave me a second chance. Bless me to make it through my week and my day of rest. Yes, this night, love, boy, I'm blessed. Wake up in the morning and I be so damn impressed. God bless me, he gave me a second chance. Bless me to make it through my week and my day of rest. Yes. Please don't wish me good luck. My homie, that ain't what's up. This ain't no good luck, Chuck. Praise Lord woke me up. Praise Lord woke me up. I'm on my holy, bruh. Devil can't hold me up. Never no folding up. Hater keep trolling us. I'ma keep rolling up. Keep posting up. Stay with them scriptures, bruh. They keep me lifted up. T who to fear and trust. Reading ain't never enough. Keep the commandments, bruh. Start with the savage. For living lavish. Don't be average. These pets are out here lacking. Deceiving people for a passion. See my bros taking captive. I knew it was time to get active. I knew it was time to get active. Searching scriptures for an answer. Finding God in who I am. Now I'm number one fan. Never needing for a nan. Now they asking who I am. This night, love, boy, I'm blessed. Wake up in the morning and I be so damn impressed. God bless me, he gave me a second chance. Bless me to make it through my week and my day of rest. Yes, this night, love, boy, I'm blessed. Wake up in the morning and I be so damn impressed. God bless me, he gave me a second chance. Bless me to make it through my week and my day of rest. Yes. Got them blessings in Deuteronomy 28. I'm really straight. Full dinner plate. Pay my rent on time. I'm never late. In Jesus' name I pray, and that day I may be worthy. This night, loved one, blessed. Wake up in the morning and I be so damn impressed. God bless me, He gave me a second chance.
Thank you, God.
Make it through my week and my day of rest. Yes, this night, loved one, blessed.
I'm so
Wake up
blessed.
in the morning and I be so damn impressed.
Yes.
God bless me,
He gave me a second chance. Bless me to make it through my week and my day of rest. Yes.
this night,
Alright,
loved
I'm finna
one,
get on it now
blessed.
for real, bro.
Wake up in the morning and I be so damn impressed. God bless me.
Let me throw in that lo-fi real quick. Yeah, that's kind of fire. All right. Peace, everybody. Peace, YouTube. Morning, everyone. Welcome to the morning brew. So, I think that's what I'm gonna call my morning little lessons from now on. The morning brew, cause it's the morning and hey, we Hebrews. So, without further ado, first off, I want to say, all praises, glory, and honor to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Israel. And we about to get into this book. We're gonna get into Genesis chapters 7 through 9. Now, last time we got into the word, um, Lord was telling Noah to go up into the ark, giving him commandments to go into the ark. But now we're about to really see the more of the intricacies of the building of this ark and dwelling in the ark. So let's not waste any more time, I guess. We're gonna start at Genesis chapter 7 verse 1, and let's do it. So it says, and the Lord said unto Noah, come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee I have seen righteousness before me in this generation. Of every clean beast thou shalt take unto thee by sevens. Hold on, let me just start over. So I'm kind of just waking up. Let me get my flow right. You feel me? Hold up. And let me sip some tea too. Oh wait, one last thing. I ain't even gonna do it. But okay, so starting at the top again, it says, and the Lord said unto Noah, come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteousness before me in this generation. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens, the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by two, the male and his female. The fowls also of the air by sevens, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of the earth. For yet 7 days I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And every living substance that I have made, I will destroy from off the face of the earth. So now we see God's main objective. He's trying to destroy everything off the face of the earth. Like he told Noah, like, look, make you an ark, right? And everyone likes to think that Noah just, he brought the animals up two by two. That's what we're all taught, Sunday school, growing up and stuff. That's really that's what it says in I think chapter 6. Yeah, chapter 6 and verse 19, it says, and of every living thing of all flesh, two of every sort shalt thou bring into the ark to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female. But now you get into chapter 7. Now he's getting more intricate with it. Now he's giving you a little more detail. Now he said, now of every clean beast, take it up into the ark 7 by 7. But the rest of the beasts, the unclean beasts, take them up by two. The birds, take them up by two. Oh wait, my bad. It says the fowls also of the air by sevens. So even the fowls of the air take them up by sevens. But the clean beasts take them up by sevens, but the unclean beasts bring them up by twos, right? And it says yet 7 days. So it's going to be a week. And I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth. Verse 5. And Noah did according to all that the Lord commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. And Noah went in, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him into the ark, because of the waters of the flood. So now you got 8 people in the ark: Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives, right? And it says of clean beasts, and of beasts that are not clean, and of fowls, and of everything that creepeth upon the earth. There went in 2 and 2, and Noah into the ark, the male and the female, as God had commanded Noah. And it says, and it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, same day were all the fountains of the deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened. And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. In the self same day entered Noah, and Shem, and Ham, and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons with them, into the ark. Verse 14, it says, they, and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, every bird of every sort. And they went in unto Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. But we did read before that the clean animals were going to be gathered 7 by 7. But it says in verse 17, and the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased and bare up the ark, and it was lift up above the earth. So now they're in the ark, and the waters, it's starting to rain. So, after a while, the ark's gonna start floating. And verse 18, and the waters prevailed and were increased greatly upon the earth, and the ark went upon the face of the waters, and the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered, and all flesh died that moved upon the earth, both fowl, both of fowl and of cattle and of beast, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, and every man, all in whose nostrils was the breath of life, and all that was in the dry land died. And every living substance was destroyed which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle, and the creeping things, and the fowl of the heaven. And they were destroyed from the earth, and Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 140 days. So now you know, you see the flood starting. It's starting to take its fullness now. So that's what we're gonna lead into once we go into chapter 8. So let's get into chapter 8 real quick. Let me check on the stream. Okay. All right, so chapter 8, it says, and God remembered Noah and every living thing and all the cattle that was with him in the ark, and God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged, the fountains of the deep, and the water and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. So there's apparently fountains in the deep. Hold up, fountains also of the deep. was trying to look up these windows to heaven, but it's all good. I'm gonna stick to the scriptures. But hold on, let me unhighlight that if I can. That's good. Okay, so it says, God remembered Noah and every living thing and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged. The fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained, and the waters returned from off the earth continually. And after the end of 150 days, the waters were abated, and the ark rested in the seventh month, and on the 17th day of the month upon the mountains of Ararat. Verse 5, and it says, and the waters decreased continually upon it until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the first day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen. So pretty much like around November, December, that's when Noah was able to see the tops of the mountains, right? And verse 6, and it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made, and he sent forth a raven, which went forth to and fro until the waters were dried up from the earth, from off the earth. And he sent forth a dove from him to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the earth, off the face of the ground, I mean. But the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot, and she returned unto him in the ark, and the waters were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand and took her and pulled her in unto him into the ark. Verse 10, it says, and he stayed yet other 7 days, and he went and he sent forth the dove out of the ark. And the dove came in to him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off. So Noah knew that the waters were abated from off the earth. And he stayed yet other 7 days, and sent forth the dove, which returned not again unto him anymore. So now it's like the waters are starting to recede, and pretty much every week Noah sends out a bird. Like once he was able to see that the tops of the mountains were able to be seen, right? That okay, so like he's resting on the mountain. The ark's resting on the mountain, right? And after 40 days, Noah's opening up the window because now it should be the water's dang near you know abated. So 40 days later, Noah's opening it up and sends forth a raven. Now he's pretty much trying to gauge whether the water, pretty much whether the land is habitable now. So he sends out a raven. Raven comes back. Now then he sends out a dove. The dove comes back with olive leaf or an olive branch or something like that. So that means the water is going down if the bird's able to pick off a leaf from it. So he's gonna wait a little bit more, one more week. So verse 12 it says, and he stayed yet other 7 days and sent forth the dove, which returned not again unto him anymore. So now this next dove isn't returning unto him anymore. That means he found somewhere to rest. He found somewhere to set up shop and build another nest, right? And it came to pass in the 601st year, in the first month, the first day of the month, the the waters were dried up from off the earth, and Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. And in the second month, on the seventh and 20th day of the month, was the earth dry. And God spake unto Noah, saying, go forth of the ark, thou and thy wife, and thy sons, and thy sons' son, and thy sons' wives with thee. Bring forth with thee every living thing that is with thee, of all flesh, both of fowl and of cattle, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful and multiply upon the earth. Verse 18. And Noah went forth, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him. Every beast, every creeping thing, and every fowl, and whatsoever creepeth upon the earth after their kinds, went forth out of the ark. And Noah builded an altar unto the Lord, and took of every clean beast and of every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings upon the altar. So, like, a lot of people like to say that, like the law only came with Israel. You know, the laws of clean and unclean, things like that, only came with Israel. But we could see right here that even Noah knew, knew the distinction between clean beasts and unclean beasts, clean fowls and unclean fowls. Noah had that knowledge. So like that just goes to show you that this law it has been established from the beginning, but it was only made official when it was given to a specific nation. But the law has always been here. We clearly see that with Noah right here. But it says, verse 21, and the Lord smelled a sweet savor, and the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake, for the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more every living thing as I have done, while the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, the cold and heat, the summer and winter, the day and night shall not cease. So now the Lord's like, look, I'm not gonna kill off everybody on the earth like I just did. I'm not gonna make a flood again anymore. And that's what we're gonna probably get into in the next chapter. But now we see that, Noah and his family, they done came up off the ark now. So now they're about to start establishing land, you know, land masses and nationhood. So let's continue into chapter 9. It says, and God blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. For the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, and upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Even as the green herb have I given you all things. And then it's like people like to take that and be like, oh, so could have ate everything, but like, okay, he said, every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, right? So that people will be like, oh, that means every moving thing that liveth, right, shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given you all things, right? But then if you look at green herbs, not every green herb is meant to be eaten. You feel me? Like if I go outside right now and eat some poison ivy, that's not gonna be a good time, right? If I go outside right now and I can't even think of another poisonous plant. Dang, now I gotta look up poisonous plants. Okay, so if I go outside, right? Hold on, let me switch my screen real quick. So if I go outside, right, and start eating on some water hemlock or some nightshade, that's not gonna be good, right? Like like yeah, the Lord said every green herb, is gonna be meat for us, but the poisonous ones too, like we gotta have common sense. So it's like, yeah, a lot of animals, we can eat like in a physical sense, but it's like, are all animals for us to eat, you know? Because if Noah back then even knew the difference between clean and unclean beasts, But then he goes on to say every, you know, beast of, every moving thing upon the earth shall be meat for you. Then it's like, what knowledge of clean and unclean, like what is Noah gonna is what is Noah gonna use with that knowledge, right? So back to the scripture though. Hello. He said, dang. Oh, verse 3. It says, and every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given you all things. Right? My bad. I had to open up my Bible thing up here. But it says, okay, so every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given you all things. But the flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall you not eat. Dang, I'm just trying to highlight. There we go. So now the Lord is pretty much like, you can eat the beasts and the herbs, right? But the flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall you not eat. So whatever has blood in it, like like he tell you in another spot, like drain the blood or make sure it's cooked all the way. You feel me? So hold up, I'm trying to find it. All right, bet. So starting back at verse 3, every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given you all things. But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall you not eat. And surely your blood of your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast will I require it, and at the hand of a man, and at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of God made he man. And you, be fruitful and multiply, and bring forth abundantly in the earth, and multiply therein. And God spake unto Noah and to his sons with him, saying, and behold, I establish my covenant with you, and with your seed after you, and with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl, of the cattle, and of every beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark to every beast of the earth. And I will establish my covenant with you. Neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood. See, this that promise the Lord's making again, right? He said, and I will establish my covenant with you. Neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood. Neither shall there be, neither shall any more be a flood to destroy the earth. And God said, this is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. So like this is the promise, right? And what's the sign of the promise? Verse 13. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth. And it shall come to pass when I bring a cloud over the earth that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. This is that rainbow that we see in the sky. So like when we see a rainbow in the sky, oh, that's a token, a sign that the Lord is not gonna flood the earth again and kill up everybody, right? So like if people wanna, use that token, that sign, and like nowadays they've taken it and completely done away with what it really represents. They tell you it represents gay pride, but it's really a sign that the Lord is not gonna destroy everybody from off this earth for the wickedness that they've caused, right? So it's like when they do the whole rainbow for the LGBT thing, it's like they got the whole rainbow for the wrong purposes. Like that's really more so like a target. Like the Lord ain't coming back with water for you. He coming back with fire. But yeah, that rainbow that we see in the sky though, that's the sign between us or the Lord and us he's gonna that he's not gonna destroy the earth like that again. So like every time we see that rainbow, it's like, yeah, God's still keeping his promise, right? Verse 15. Well, I'm gonna start at verse 14 again. It says, and it shall come to pass when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud, and I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. And the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh, and the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth. And God said unto Noah, this is the token of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth. And the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark were Shem, and Ham, and Japheth. And Ham is the father of Canaan. These are the three sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth spread. So out of the ark came Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and all their wives, respectively. But it says Ham is the father of Canaan. Now, I feel like it's saying that because, you know, out of everyone, we need to know, really out of the Hamite nations, we need to know who the Canaanites are and who the Egyptians are because they're going to be the main players in the next coming books, right? Like, like getting into Exodus, you know, you're gonna learn about Egypt. That's Mizraim. And then, I'm actually getting a little more ahead of myself because we're gonna learn about these folks in Genesis 10. But Canaan, Canaan is who Israel had to knock off and take their land. So it's important to know who Canaan is and who the Canaanites are. But continuing on in verse 20, in verse 19 it says, these are the three sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth overspread. Verse 20, and Noah began to be a husbandman, and he planted a vineyard. So Noah, he's a husbandman. He's pretty much a farmer, taking care of the land, right? Tilling the ground. It says, and he planted a vineyard, 21, and he drank of the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. So now Noah's drunk one day, naked in his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brethren. That's why earlier it tells you, Ham is the father of Canaan because of this situation right here. It says, and Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brethren without. So he came into the tent and saw his dad naked. And instead of covering him up, he went out, told his brothers, "Hi, I saw Pops in there. He drunk, he naked." And it says 23, and Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father, and their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness. So like that's a important thing. Like that's a sacred thing, like not to see anyone's nakedness, right? And verse 24 says, and Noah awoke from his wine, and knew what his younger son had done unto him. And he said, Cursed be Canaan. We have verse 25. It says, and he said, Cursed be Canaan, right? A lot of people be like, take this and be like, nah, he cursed him. But it says, Cursed be Canaan, right? So cursed be the descendant of Ham that comes, cursed be Canaan, cursed the Canaanites, not the entire nation of Ham or the entire bloodline of Ham. It's just Canaan, right? But it says, verse 25, and he said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. And he said, Blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. God shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. And Noah lived after the flood 350 years, and all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. So now we've seen the flood of the earth, and now we're about to see the earth start to be established, right? So Lord willing, next time we come up on here, we're going to read Genesis 10, 11, and 12. And when we get into 10, that's going to take us into the table of nations. Like, those are all the progenitors of pretty much everyone that's alive today, and all the bloodlines that we see now, right? So, yeah, I think that's it for us. Lord willing, I'm gonna try to be back tomorrow, Lord willing. So, I hope y'all got some understanding. Hope y'all enjoyed this morning brew. And again, all praises to the Most High, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And I pray y'all have a good rest of y'all day.